Welcome back to Double Dose. I'm Dr. Raj.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And today we're going to be talking about mini humans and major headaches. So
I love this topic.
I know.
Because obviously we're both mums. For me, that's like, I feel like that's my primary identity as being a mum. Obviously being a doctor is lovely and important as well, but the mum side is the best.
I feel like it's my most rewarding yet challenging identity. So I think it's like the one that I struggle with the most.
Really?
Yeah, the one that I put the most.
You're a very natural mum.
Yeah, I don't mean like struggling with being a mum. I mean more about struggling with the pressure I put on myself. Like it means so much to be a good mum to me that I put so much emphasis and pressure on it. Like obviously being a good doctor is so important, and you know you have all your appraisals and you have landmarks and things to sort of like goals and achievements to sort of like tell you you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you don't have that as
No one tells you that in motherhood. No navigation, no appraisal for being a mum, is there really?
Also, no one tells you what to do. This is the thing I realised when I became a mum. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's so many things. You just have to work it out as you go along.
I always say to my husband, like when something challenging's happening, or you know the tantrum that's taking place, and we're all like, oh, sweaty armpits from it. I always say to him after, I'm like, he'll be like, oh, just you know, it's so hard work. And I look at him and I go, you know, I wasn't born with like a manual to be a mum. Like I also have had to learn on the job. But I feel like as mums, we just have this pressure of like knowing it all and knowing how to do it, and actually, it's bloody tough, isn't it?
I feel like it's made worse by being a doctor though, because
yeah.
I feel like in our house anyway, I'm the one who everyone comes to for answers for anything, like whether it's like, what are we doing at the weekend or whatever, what kit do I need? But also as soon as someone's ill or someone's got a rash or like one of the kids has an injury at PE, like it's like, Mum, or Ems.
There's that Bluey episode, I don't know if you've watched it, where they go swimming and basically Dad's like, come on, it's so much fun. They jump in the car, forget all the swim stuff, forget the sun lotion, forget everything. And then the mum's like, yeah, and the dad's going, yeah, like, you know, it's so boring. Come on, kids. And they get there and they can't do anything. They can't go in the pool because they're too hot. They can't go in the shade.
That's amazing.
Too cold. They haven't got the sunblock on, so they can't go in the water. They've got their floaties. And my son and I, he's 6, we're watching that episode, and then we always say, like, our mantra to each other, I'll look at him and go, boring things are important too. Because the mum says,
I love that.
Like, that's the definition of being a mum. You're the nagger. You're chief nagger, but actually, you're the one that keeps everything together most times, you know. And that's not a generalisation, by the way, because obviously there are excellent dads and there are, you know, single dads who are running the house and doing whatever. But generally, I feel like mumhood, it's a thing. It's a real thing.
I'm the nagger. I nag everyone. I get tired of nagging.
I know, right?
I say some guys. It's the older two arguing. Oh. If I say not the older two, I mean Millie and Theo. Yeah. They argue, and then I have to tell. This is the only thing I have to tell them off for. It drives me nuts, like completely nuts.
My 2 are 6 and 2 years old have started doing that, and it's like just give it a rest, like winding each other up, and you know that unsaid mum load of like that mental emotional load of like just hearing noise the constant time, or like mama, 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 mama. It's like you want to turn around and go, shut up.
Do you do that, or you just internally
leave me? No, I say, what would you? So what would you like, darling? Yes, darling. And again, even more detached to it. And Sandra, the other day we were driving back we went to Peppa Pig World. Oh God, don't ask.
I actually really want to go to Peppa Pig World. I've not gone.
It's amazing. You see their little faces.
Oh,
like,
I actually want to go.
Gorgeous, but God, the journey there, the journey back, the in between, the snacks. Obviously, Sandra's driving on our way back after the weekend. There was a moment where I looked at Sandra. He just literally, he's cracking up like into the steering wheel. And I'm like, and he's like, honestly, babe, you're hilarious, because I had just like literally got to the point that I was like, yeah, sure. Like, Mummy, can I have this? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Like,
yes.
But I was getting more and more
whatever
like
you want.
irate and like irritable with it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Any minute now, explosion's about to take place. You know, it's going to happen. And he's just looking at me like, duh, duh, duh. Are you okay? Are you okay? Side eye.
You get the overwhelm thing, because I get this so badly where I'll come downstairs. One of the kids has got something on the radio, like on Alexa.
Yeah.
One of them's got the TV on. One of them's asking me questions.
Oh, God, yes.
I have to go around and turn everything off. And then Pete goes to me, why do you always want silence? I said to him, I don't want silence. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's like it grates on my brain on a level that I can't explain, especially if there's music on and the TV. Like, I can't.
Do you get that thing where like the kids are going, mama, mama at the same time, mama, mama, and you're trying to listen to them, and then someone's asking something else, like, you know,
all
in the
the
restaurant,
time.
the waiter's going, oh, like, and would you like fries with that? And you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And someone's dragging, mama, mama. And
all
then
the
Sandra
time.
will turn around, or my husband will turn around and go, so next Saturday I was thinking, you're like, Oh my gosh. Like, was this the time to ask that question? Was it though? Just the one extra thing turned like literally
Just add it on
on
pile.
the edge. Honestly.
Maybe men are better at multitasking than we think because Pete's not bothered by that stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
He could have 20 people in the kitchen talking to everyone, the radio, the TV, the kids are shouting, and he's just happy. He's like pottering.
I
He
actually
can handle
agree.
it.
Yeah, my husband's the same. And I feel like they
can't
don't get
handle
it. They're like, why are you getting so irritated?
Yeah,
by
why are you
it?
getting stressed?
But then I think it's because the early mornings, like for me, I'm still doing the overnight, like, you know, run with my little daughter. She still gets up sometimes. So you are tired, right? You're a tired
Yeah.
mum. And then in the morning, you got everyone at you and you're just like, help me.
Yeah, but we've said this before. You are amazing at dealing without sleep. Okay, so Belle's ill at the moment, and
God.
she woke me up at 2 a.m. last night, which is the first time in probably
Oh no.
18
Emily and no
months.
sleep. Emily and no sleep is not a thing.
Gosh. It's the first time in probably 18 months that she's woken up.
How
in
the
night.
hell do you look like this though? 2 a.m. you woke up.
No, I went back to sleep. It took me ages. 'Cause I kept thinking about the podcast.
I
swear to God, I was lying in bed
thinking.
thinking about you. Oh, me and Raj can do the podcast tomorrow. Oh, that'd be really fun. Could not get back to sleep. I did the thing where I got out of bed because she was crying, went to her door, cowpole in hand,
Cowpoint.
thermometer, and because she's ill, and it went quiet. So I was like, oh, okay, go back to bed. Got in bed. She started again. This happened twice. Stood by her door. Oh, she's quiet. Went back to bed. Then I couldn't get back to sleep.
Do you think as doctors, I think a lot of people imagine, I always get friends and family like, but it's all right for your GP, like, you know, your doctor. I actually think that in some cases, I'm more of a worrier when it, like,
It's a help and a hindrance.
yeah,
It is.
like with the first one, definitely. I remember there was a point where he was quite ill as like a 3-month-old, like quite young. It was lockdown time, and it took, having worked peds and everything, it took me a while to realise that he was that ill, which I think I felt quite guilty for because I just was looking at him thinking, oh, I think I was half wishing it was all okay. And obviously he's newborn. I didn't really know what I was doing. I guess it's all new for me. But I think there was a moment in which 3 a.m, I looked at him and I was like, is he vigoring? Like I actually thought he's got a really high fever. He's not looking well at all. And my doctor instinct kicked in. I was like, no, we're taking him to A&E right now. And we did. And thankfully we did. And he was okay. But he had to have like, you know, blood cultures and he'd had like a urinary tract infection.
That's so
And
traumatic.
I stood at the side of the cubicle when, you know, when they pull the curtain, they're doing stuff. And I remember standing there just sobbing.
Yeah.
Obviously, my husband couldn't be with me and thinking I'm the world's worst mum. How have I missed that? I'm a doctor, I'm a GP. But obviously, your hormones, newborn, you're trying to work out the feed.
You're his mum. You're not his doctor.
That's it. So I think
That's a different thing.
Sometimes you don't always pick stuff up. And I think because of that experience, I then became really anxious with everything he was going through. Any health issue, I couldn't think straight. I'd be like, oh, no, this must be something really serious. I need to, you know, see a consultant or get him seen to and pushing it. And I remember there was another time where he had like an enlarged like a node in his neck from a viral. And I remember I went to go and see a consultant, and it took this amazing consultant, pediatric doctor, who just handled me really sensitively. And he just said, I know you're a GP, I know you're stressing about this, but it's okay. And he just calmed me down, handled me like a mum. And from there, like my anxiety started to sort of like, you know, just disperse. But with the second born, I feel like I'm a lot more confident. Did you find that with your second and third?
I feel like I've got more worried as time's gone on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Talk to
really
me,
know
girl.
why. I don't know why. Like, I think because I had Millie so young, like I was only 24.
Yeah.
I think I was actually quite oblivious to all the things that
Yeah.
could go wrong. And I never thought of it like when she got ill of like, could this be sepsis? Do I need to watch out for sepsis? Let me go in and check her at night and make sure, you know, she's...
Yeah.
I just used to let her, you know, she'd
Yeah,
give a bit of
because-
Calpol and
Get that.
get on with it. Whereas with Belle being ill, I was checking her heart rate yesterday. I was like, okay, got my timer out. I was checking her pulse rate. And I'm thinking, why am I doing that?
But there's
Why am I
this whole
doing that?
meningitis outbreak right now as
Well,
well.
yes.
You know, and I think that's a big thing. I think, you know, you've got your own experience of that. So, you know, when you were little. So why don't you share a bit about what happened with you? And I think it might have it might be a reason why maybe you do get a bit more panicked
Maybe.
with Millie, with Bella.
With Belle.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, for me, because I had, as you know, I had meningitis when I was about 3 and I was really unwell. I had bacterial meningitis, and my mum's a paediatrician, and she said that I'd gone to bed the night before and was just complaining of having a headache. And I took kind of like, almost took myself, I was, you know, I'm tired, mummy, and went to bed. And she said that wasn't like me at all. And so the next morning, she was leaving for work really early before I was even up. But she said something in the back of her mind was like,
Just go and
go and check on Emily. So she came to check
the
on
mum
me.
plus doctor instinct kicks
Yeah,
in. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I worry as well that that's lacking in me. I feel like it's lacking. I just feel like I crumble when it's my own kids. But anyway, so she checked me and I had one spot on my leg, like my lower leg. And she said she just knew. And I have this memory, because I was only 3, of having my feet up on the dashboard of the car and seeing the rash like all over my legs.
Spread that
it
quickly.
must have spread quite quickly. So she literally took me in. I think she took me to the hospital where she worked. I actually don't know. And I remember I had all the cannulas and everything put in. And I had a fear of needles for a long time after that. Up until I had Millie, I was really frightened of needles. I think because of that young age of having... I just remember them putting the cannula in, and I remember it being really painful. And I was ill, like really ill in hospital. So I had meningitis C. Was the one that I had.
How do you feel?
Septicemia. Oh
my God, yeah. Once the rash sets in, you know that it's septicemia. So
Yeah.
how do you feel now when you've been hearing in the news, it's been everywhere, meningitis outbreak? Has it made you feel a certain kind of way?
So I always try and stay calm and rational.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, in our case anyway, Theo and Belle are vaccinated against MB. Millie's not, because she was born in 2014 and the vaccine came in 2015. So I had a minute of thinking, like, how am I going to approach this? And I just rationalised it in my head that actually it is still rare. I know obviously there has been an spike in cases, but relatively speaking, it's still rare. You can't actually get hold of private vaccines. It's very difficult at the moment. I think a lot of places are out of stock. So I kind of took a view of like, there's actually nothing I can do about it. She's not vaccinated. I can't get hold of a vaccine for her. But she's healthy and well, and we've kind of just got to go with the flow. That's the, I guess I look at it like when you can't do anything,
it's out of your control.
You might as well.
But I think you've got to talk to yourself a little bit, haven't you? And just be like really sensible and common sense and just work things through. And I say, I've had so many phone calls in clinic, and obviously I was talking about it on Sky News, and we were discussing all the symptoms, but the vaccines. There's just 2 different vaccines, obviously. So you've got the parents panicking they haven't got the right vaccine, but ultimately you're right. Like meningitis, bacterial invasive meningitis is still rare. It's not really spreading like wildfire in the general population. That's a really key thing to say. But obviously, if you do have those symptoms of fever, stiff neck or confusion, headache, vomiting, whatever it might be, it's important to get checked out in any case, because it might not be meningitis, it might be something else that needs looking at. So I think it's just being sensible. But I think given your experience having it yourself, I'm not surprised that it's made you feel nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little more on edge, I think, than I usually would be. But I guess that's where, like I said, I just try to let my rational mind just kick in, and there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I think even as medics, like as doctors, you're just human, aren't you? And I think that's the thing that I've realised is that definitely, like I was saying, I feel better with my second born. So with her, like if she gets a fever or she gets unwell, I am a lot more relaxed. I feel more confident in myself. Maybe also because I'm more of an experienced doctor. Like, I've done more years as GP.
And more experienced mum.
More experienced mum. So I feel like when I do see something in her, I can almost tell, like, oh, that's okay. Like she was vomiting on Monday night, and my husband was like, oh my God, she's being sick. And I was like, do you know what? She started nursery a couple of months ago. She's now at that age where we used to call it Friday fever with my son. Like they pick up a bug all the time. And I was like,
isn't it 12 to 15 a year on average?
15,
and obviously that's generally clustered in the winter months.
Yeah.
So you could easily be looking at one every week, a couple of weeks.
Basically, like every couple of weeks. And we had that with my son. So I just reminded my husband, being like, look, we've been through this. By tomorrow, she'll be okay. Let's just hope we don't all catch it, because it's normally worse when we get it. And that's normally me, because I'm cuddling them and kissing them, whatever. And they're all over me and jumping. So luckily, it was over in 24 hours. But it feels nice when you get it right. And you're like, actually
it's fine.
She's going to be okay. And then they are. But I don't,
you know what, though, Raj, sick. Okay, I just have to bring it up.
Tell me.
I don't mind looking after in fact, when they're ill, I just they want, quite often they want mum, don't they? They want cuddles, and I'm 100% fine with it. The one thing I struggle with is sick. I can't bear it. And I do this thing where I'm like...
You speak sponge.
Do you know what I mean? What is that? And like, you're trying to care for them. Right, and Millie's got such long hair. Millie's hair's long like mine. And the last time she got a sickness bug was about probably a year or 2 ago. She's being like, I've got to hold her hair out the way.
Oh, God,
she's
no,
like,
I can't deal with that.
Sick in the toilet. And I'm going, like trying to hold the hair.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, she was sick in her bed. Like,
God, stop.
Okay, so Theo, unreal. If he's going to be sick, even when he was tiny, like 2 or 3, he would get up, walk, and be sick in the toilet. To the point where I actually wouldn't even believe that he'd vomited. He was about 3 and he went, Mummy, I was sick.
That's like my little boy.
And I was like,
He's
there's not a
so
sign
in
of it.
tune with like going to be sick that he'll
Yeah.
get up and go over
There's
and
no sign
do
of
it.
sick. Not one drop. Millie, on the other hand, aged like
Everywhere.
10, in the bed. No, I
No
just remember being
way.
like, I actually can't deal with this.
I can deal with sick, actually, to the point
Can
that like
you?
I'll kneel down next to him. Sanj is just so disgusted at me, so I'll kneel down. I'm like, you can do this, darling. Just let it out. I'm that person.
I'm like
So
that.
my son's there, like laying all his spag bol all over the floor. Like my husband's in the corner, like
Why is it
literally
always spag
wretched.
bol?
Because that's what they like to eat before they're sick. 'Cause before you get sick, you
It's
get that really
always
hungry
spag
feeling.
bol.
So you're really hungry. So whenever they're like, I'm really, really hungry, I'm like, they're going to be sick.
Last time Millie was sick, it was spag bowl.
It's always spag bol, babe. Oh God.
Oh, that makes me feel
image
sick.
all over the floor, splattered in every corner.
Oh,
Till now, my
God.
son's like, Mummy, when I was sick, I ate spag bol.
Will he eat spag bowl now? Because Millie went off
Yeah.
spag bowl for ages.
I think when you're a bit older, like I remember being a child and being sick, and I was off whatever I'd eaten. I think
Yes.
at the age of like 5, 6, 7, like you're fine. You just get on.
Just
with
get
it.
over it.
Yeah.
Oh, spag bowl.
Oh God, I can't ever look at spag bol again. Oh God. Right.
glad you've
Back
had your
onto
sick though, I
food.
can't.
I need to talk to you about food. So
yeah, go on.
picky eaters.
Oh, yeah.
Like as a mum, I'm just like when my child's not eating well, and I'm sure so many mums are going to relate to this, or even parents in general, because I know my husband also feels the same way. It's like when they don't eat, it just stresses me out. Like, why are you not eating everything?
I think
know,
it's a natural instinct to be a feeder.
and I know as a doctor that look, they don't need to have like if they're eating, you know, the right stuff, or just even something that's like a fistful of food. My doctor used to tell me, a GP, my fistful of food, if they're ill, they're going to eat less. You know, make sure they're getting their calories in. Even if they're eating the same foods and they're picky eaters, they will come out of it. But I can't help but sit there and look at these little
worry.
babies and children who are eating everything. Like when Bella came over with her bowl and she was like scoffing it all down.
Yeah, but she's going through a bit of a picky phase.
That's
That's what I mean. Don't always think that everyone else has got it nailed. Because I had it nailed with her for quite a long time, and she now is just going through a phase where she's like, she just wants like pasta. she's
Beige
gone off
food.
potato. Well,
Beige.
she's like what she loves more than anything is fruit. She'll eat any fruit going, and she'll eat cereal and stuff like that. But she's really gone off potatoes, rice.
Really?
She just wants pasta for dinner. So I always do like veggies and stuff, but. So it's not all perfect with
like-
everybody else when you might think it is.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just that. And I don't know if it's Indian culture as well. Like love is via feeding, right? So food is like love. So if your child's not like growing up, if I wouldn't eat the paratha, wouldn't eat like, you know, the Indian curry, whatever it was, like even if I was in the mood to eat it, my mum would be like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, because it's a way of like showing
'cause
love.
it's love, yeah.
So I feel like that has passed down into me, and I'm almost that mum now. I can see that in me where I'm like, we just wanted to eat a roti. Like, I'm just eat the roti, just eat the dal, just eat the pasta, just eat. And obviously she's got a mind of her own, and she's like, no thanks, babes. Some fries will be fine, you know.
To
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I would love that.
You know, strawberries, cucumber, she calls it cucumber.
Oh,
So it's like the same thing all the time. Like, babe, do you not want some variety?
but she's thriving.
She actually is. She's like
I-
tall for her age, chubby cheeks, touch wood, she's gorgeous. But I think it's just that mum instinct of being like, again, it's like the mum guilt. Is it me? Am I not good enough? Should I be doing more? Even though I've been told by the professionals, by everybody, even by you, because you've been through this whole journey, and having a friend like you that I look up to, and I think you're an amazing mum, telling me it's going to be all right, Raj. I went through it with Theo and it was fine.
I did.
I don't know why I still go home and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could do something more. And there's nothing I can do.
So I remember I said this to you before. It was my mum that said to me, Theo's probably about 3 or 4, and I was having like real battles with him with food. Like he would sit at the table and just he wouldn't want to eat, and I would end up having like battles with him, or I'd be like, please, just a little bit.
begging,
Sometimes I'd end up like in tears. It sounds ridiculous now because now he eats absolutely everything. I was just being in tears, and I called my mum. It's so handy having a mum who's a paediatrician. It's great. So I called her, and she was like, look, see how it just for a month. She gave me like a fixed time frame for a month. Put the food in front of him. Say to him, that's fine. You don't have to eat, but you have to stay with us at the table and see how he goes in a month. Does he lose weight? Like, you know, are you noticing that he's not well or anything like that? And he actually started eating. I think once I started, stopped pushing my worry onto him, I would quietly just observe him, and he'd be sat there with the food in front of him, and he actually would just eat it. And by the end of the month, he hadn't lost any weight. He was eating really well. And I thought all this time, I think it was probably me pushing it too much.
I think like that is really reassuring, because I think the worrying thing, or the thing that you stress about as a mum, is like, am I not advocating enough? Am I not sitting there being like, you need to eat this? But actually, children they're going to do
They
their own thing.
regulate to an extent.
And they
yeah.
regulate. And I found the same thing. So when my girl, she started nursery, they actually said to me, so I'll pick her up from nursery. I'm like, oh, her snack bag's still full. Like, yeah, she had a flapjack today. She had a cake today. Like, she's having things she never has at home. Croissant. I'm like, sorry, is this my daughter?
That's the other thing my mum said.
You
She said at
know?
nursery, kids will often eat better than they do at home because they're with their
Their
peers,
peers and they
seeing
getting
them,
into
and
it.
it's just less of a thing. They just copy everyone else.
And then the other day I was having my roti and my dal because I love my Indian food. It's like my fave. So I'm having my comfort food. And she looks over at me. She's like, yummy, delicious. I was like, would you like some? Just offered casually.
So cute.
And then she scoffed the whole thing. She ate all my dinner, basically. I was like, oh, okay.
At this point, you're like,
At this point,
yes,
like, more,
have it.
more. But, you know, it does, I mean, and it didn't continue. Like, the next day she's back to fries again. But I mean, like, you know, she's had that experience. And I think that's what I feel as a mum, as much as I struggle with it, I need to just let go a little bit and let it be. But
I think as long as they're thriving, because obviously there are situations where
you've got to worry,
they're, you know, which we don't need to obviously go into all of that. But I think as long as they're thriving, and obviously any concerns for people to
see their doctor,
see their GP, of course. Yeah, I think kids do regulate quite well in vast majority of cases.
Yeah.
But I still do feel like even with Belle, I still put the foods on her plate, even if I feel like she's actually probably not going to eat that. Like I will put whatever we're eating on her plate, because I feel like as long as there's some foods there that are like safe foods, quite often she will like have a little go. It's so annoying though, stuff she used to eat, like she used to eat a full roast dinner. Now she'll be like,
that girl was eating well when she came over, babe.
She's starting to blow her mind.
I was looking at her like, this is a
in
vibe.
handfuls. Yeah, but she's not. No,
She was like going for it and like eating it all, and you just pouring pot after pot in front of her. I was like, what is happening? I don't know what you had in that suitcase or bag of yours, but geez, there were strawberries coming out, raspberries coming out.
She's still fine on all that stuff.
And my mum was having a plate of fries. Do you remember that? That was the vibe.
Right. Do you know what? She won't even eat a chip. This child would not eat a chip.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to get them together.
We need.
Maybe they'll swap foods.
I'd love her to eat one chip ever.
I'll get a chip down.
One chip. I'm like, how can you not eat a chip?
Just like get one down my own daughter.
A chip is like the nicest food in the world. She would not eat a single chip. Or ice cream. She won't eat ice cream.
I just feel like they're finding a sense of self at this age.
That is
and they are going to
exactly
be
what it is.
defiant and they're going to say what they want. And mummy is not going to be the person to decide for them. Not at all.
What parent's worrying that their child won't eat a chip? Like, what's wrong with me?
She will.
Well,
when she wants to.
There's a lot of joy in life with chips. She's going to be missing out. She gets through her
I just
whole
feel
life
like,
without
you know,
eating
it's
chips.
also the girls are finding their power, and we just, you know, we love a bit of girls with power, don't we? It's really important. So
She's seriously finding her power.
Truth or myths then, girly? What you got for me?
I like truth or myth.
I love a bit of truth or myth.
I'm going to ask you, talking about meningitis that we
Yeah.
touched on earlier. Is it true, Dr. Raj, that fever always equals infection?
Well, I would like to answer this question, if I may, with a, let me just find it, myth card.
Da-da-da.
So up to 1/3 of fevers are not bacterial. So that means not infections. You can have a fever because it's a virus, obviously. You can have a fever because it's a normal immune response, for example, to a vaccination. So actually, no, fevers don't always indicate an infection.
And this is a good one to know, I think, for parents, is that you shouldn't always treat a fever in isolation, because I think, and I have kind of fallen into this trap before and just stopped myself, that if your child has a fever, but they're actually not symptomatic of the fever, for example, they could be playing well, you know, eating and drinking, but they have a fever, you shouldn't always treat it necessarily, because obviously your fever is your body's way of fighting an immune response. So you shouldn't always treat a fever. There are obviously times where it is necessary, and there are obviously times where, quite often in my experience anyway, if a child has a fever, they usually do feel a bit pants, or there is usually something else going on. But don't just treat a fever for fever's sake.
I think lots of fever. I think fever is a symptom, not diagnosis. That's really important to say. And I think if a fever, it depends where the fever is. Obviously, we have guidelines that we use. And if it's really, you know, coming into orange or red category, so you're teetering at 38, you know, 39, important to correct and give something. And normally you're right. At that point, they're not running around, are they? They're normally like flopped on the sofa. But if it's like 37 and, you know, they're okay and they're going around, whatever, doing what they're doing, the higher end of 37 or lower end of 38, and they're well, just assess them and see how they're going. I mean, you know, I know a lot of parents who panic and they just want to give Calpol or they want to give something, but and that's maternal instinct or paternal instinct. But I think you're right, it's not a diagnosis, it's a symptom, and you can get it outside of an infection. That's the main thing to remember. My turn. So, okay, sugar makes kids hyper, baby girl.
You do watch my reels.
Halloween.
That was a proper fangirl moment, right? This is a myth.
It is. Tell me then, why is it a myth, baby?
Well, people think it's true, but that's usually because when you give your kids a load of sugar, they're normally in an excitable situation, like a party or trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Watch my reel.
Yeah.
And it's usually a response to that as opposed to the sugar itself. When I researched this, I was kind of surprised. I feel like anecdotally, a lot of parents would say, myself included, oh, I'm sure sugar makes them really hyper, but the evidence just isn't there to support that strongly enough.
I think sugar makes them happy, and then happy makes them hyper. That's what I think.
I like that.
So they have the sugar, they're like,
get
me some sugar. And then they start like jumping everywhere, and you're like, oh my God, you're not giving them sugar, but actually just excited that they've had something sweet to eat. It tastes nice, taste buds are going.
And
so
usually they are at a party.
And the situation, the environment, the excitement, that's what the research
or on
shows.
holiday. That's when I usually let my kids have a bit more sugar if we're on holiday.
God, sugar.
Having said that, guys, can we just caveat this?
Yes.
Not loads of sugar in the diet, okay? Even that doesn't make them hyper. Can we just like ration the sugar slightly?
Yeah.
All the dentists out there are like...
Exactly. Like, what are they saying?
Okay, shall I
You
do
got
one
for me?
more?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, Dr. Raj. Misogyny is something children and teenagers are already exposed to in the UK. Children and teenagers.
Oh, children and teenagers. I think I'm going to say that, my darling, is a truth.
She's so on it. You know we're going to have to get one of these wrong one week.
I know. Shall I pretend no?
I'm going to put in a really difficult one
hard
next week.
one. Go on then.
Okay, correct. In the UK, over half of pupils aged 11 to 19 say they've witnessed misogynistic comments.
Wow.
That's shocking, actually.
11 to 19.
This is what I mean about the social media thing. Because I think if they didn't have social media, yes, they can go to school and watch social media on other people's phones. I understand that. But I do think it's different to being in your own bedroom at home scrolling for hours.
I agree.
On it. That's my
Can't believe
rationale.
That statistic is just shocking. Actually.
What's your thought on phones in bedrooms, just out of interest?
Absolutely no.
Okay, that's good.
Phones in general, no. I think I will be the mother that will struggle to give my child a phone at 18.
I struggled badly.
I'll be like a grown up, like mummy.
What's your take on it now?
No.
What's your
My take on it now is they should. So I will say at 16, or when they go to high school, if they need to have a phone, 14, 15, whatever, it will be a brick phone or one of those. There's smartphones. Have you seen the ones that are not actually iPhones?
Yeah.
No social media till they're 18. They have to be an adult to be on social media.
Are you going 18?
Yeah.
And maybe I need to up my game to 18.
No, I just think, at 16, they're still a child. So 17, I might consider it, but it'll be 18. And also, I'm Indian, babe. We're strict. You know that, yeah?
I'm the strictest of all Millie's parents. She had a sleepover recently for her birthday and there was five girls. And I had to message all the mums and say, I'm really sorry, guys, but I don't actually allow phones upstairs in our house. So we're going to leave the phones downstairs and... so the girls won't be able to contact you overnight. Because in my head, I'm thinking, if the girls need to contact their parents, then that's the reason that they come and wake me up.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'll contact them. And I thought, oh my God, I hope all the parents were really supportive. And actually, a couple of them were like, really glad we don't allow it either.
And also,
they're meant to be socialising. They don't need phones.
Not that my child will ever be going on a sleepover till they're an adult, just to add that in there too, yeah.
It was at my house. So
yeah, oh yeah, they might be able to come to my house, but then I might still be funny about looking after other people's kids just because I just worry about just worry about it in general. But anyway, what I'm saying is, what I would worry about is that they're going to be scrolling on the phone rather than spending time with each other. And if they're
exactly,
there, come together for a play day or time together, whatever it is it still a play day at that age? No, okay.
What does Millie call it? It's not called a play date anymore. I think she calls it meeting up.
A meet up, a link up.
I don't know.
Okay, well, if they're having a meet up,
I'm not down with the kids.
I'm definitely down.
Not at all.
But my point is, would you not rather they spent time with each other than be
100%.
scrolling on a phone and be like, hey, look what Harrison's uploaded. Hey. Guys, have you seen this? Like, I've got teen nieces, and honestly, sometimes I'm sitting down family gathering and I just listen in and I'm like, do you remember when 6'7" was a thing and everyone was like 6'7"?
I feel like it's still a bit of a thing.
And raise your ya. Did you hear that one?
No.
Raise your ya.
So in Greek, ya means grandma.
I don't even know, babe. I just
What, is it
remember
raise your
one family
grandma?
holiday, I literally turned around. I was like, "Can you just shut up?
Was it get your
Raise
grandma up
your
there?"
grandmama." I was like, "Shut up," because it
What
became
does it mean?
I haven't got a clue, babe. I'm like late 30s. How would I know?
And also, what is 6'7"? I have asked my children; they can't tell me.
They can't explain what it is, but they'll go 6'7",
6'7".
6'7". I know. We need to get with it, babe.
We bought into it a bit though. Our elves did 6'7" at Christmas with the Uno cards because I think it was like if you can't beat them, just join them.
Yeah,
That scenario.
I love that you did that.
How do we get on to 6'7"?
I don't
We're
bloody
talking
know.
about
Right, what are we
misogyny.
on to next?
We're from a serious topic to a
Ooh,
non-serious
yeah.
topic. Right. Oh, doctor's orders that we actually break.
Oh,
Me and Raj
yeah.
break all the doctor's orders.
We're not really good doctors, are we, from that perspective?
We are, but we're just not with ourselves.
Not taking my own advice. What's wrong with me?
No. Did you know that if a child gets sunburn, it increases their risk of skin cancer later in life? So we spoke a few episodes ago about my long-term love for CeraVe. They've just launched a new sun care range for body and face that I've actually been trying for about the past month. You know what I'm like with sun care, especially for the kids. I love reading a label and I'm very diligent on protecting my kids' skin against the sun. Key for me is that this range absorbs in 1 second. Now, any mum will tell you what a win this is when you have wriggling kids that do not want to wait for sun cream to dry. As with all CeraVe products, each is formulated with 3 essential ceramides and helps to protect the skin's natural barrier alongside the broad spectrum SPF 50 protection. The formulas are super silky and hydrating, and I can honestly say this is the sun care you want to wear. They also have a little stick that I love and I have in my handbag for touch-ups. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, and this is a good one. Can we talk about independent sleeping? Co-sleeping. Actually, you put this on the cue card.
What's that, everybody? What's independent sleeping?
Right, come on. Talk to me.
So firstborn, COVID times, I was like, look at me. I've got it all going on. I had an app. I had the naps down. I had it all. He was like, down the nap, off you go, in his own bed, all sorted, all done. Excellent, excellent. Second one, all out the window. She's still in our bed and she's like 2 and a bit now.
Yeah, but Raj, she's not going to be in your bed forever. And then you're going to look back on these moments and be like, Raj just sends me little videos of her asleep with her bed head.
And also just the smell and the warmth and like, you know, all just the nice cutie bits and mama. And then she'll jump on like my husband and be like, dada. And it's so cute.
So I'm wondering, how does your older little one feel about littlest one being in the bed? And he's not.
When she was born, he told me to put her in the bin. So he was 3.
Sorry, Raj.
He was 3. She was newborn. Brought him home, and he just went, "Why is she here? Put her in the bin." And I was like, "I can't do that. She's your baby sister. She's here today." Now they love each other, but they do fight like cats and dogs. No, he said, "Put her in the bin." He did. Like I couldn't believe it. And so now what happens is he kind of knows she's in the bed, but he doesn't like talking about it. Yeah, and so he'll say things. We're going to be moving home soon, and she'll have her own room. So he keeps talking about that. Like, when she has her own room, and I'm like, yeah. But what he'll do is if he sees, like, if he ever gets a bit early, runs into our bedroom, which kids do this, and he sees her in the bed, he will just make her life a living hell. He'll like keep like pushing her, wake up, and like just get her up so that she's out the bed with him, and they're both playing. So yeah, there's definitely a bit of a jealousy thing going on. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those snuggles, and I think each their own. I've done one both ways. So my son's obviously independent sleeping in his bed from birth, the whole routine, all that stuff. But I think, well, not from birth, but from like 6 weeks. But with her, it's been the opposite way. I've been really chilled about it. I'm enjoying her.
And you're not having more kids,
not having
right?
any more children.
You're relishing those moments.
I'm relishing them. And they, little ones, they grow up so quickly. And I think I've really realised that cliche. Like when I used to hear that cliche, I'd be like, oh, what do you mean it's taking forever? But actually, those long sleepless nights. But now I'm like, oh, it's such, I want to savor it. So yeah, you tell me.
I'm putting a prediction out there, which is that when you move house, which is imminent-ish, right?
Yeah.
I think she's still going to be in your bed.
No, babe.
No.
Old Dr. Raj is coming out.
Watch this space.
Mummy Raj is going to go to bed then, for real. Going to go to bed.
Actually sleep.
And Dr. Raj is going to go, in your princess room you go. Bye.
Oh, she's having a princess
room. Yeah.
room.
She might end up back in my bed like every so often, but I think the bottom line is it'll be the end of an era. And my husband will be delighted.
Do you reckon the first day you're in the new house, she's going in her room? Are you going to so that it's a clear transition?
I have to do it like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it worked for my son. So because it was so clear and I was so I also think life got busy, and I think I just didn't have the same time or patience to be sitting at the end of the cot and being like rocking myself back and forth. Like, you know, we've had those
I know the
moments,
thing. When you
watching
fall
something
asleep, you're like,
Netflix, falling asleep on the floor. I was like, I'm tired, mummy. I'm doing a million things. I've just sorted out the school stuff, you know, just put the last PE kit out. I can't. Just get in my bed, just get in and just go to sleep.
Just sleep.
Yeah. But I know that yours are all independent sleeping.
Oh, I feel like people might think this is mean, but it's just the way it's happened.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Gosh, you're going to be like, what the
No,
hell?
I'm not. I know you're that person. You Pritt stick till 3 in the morning.
I do
You bring
love
the paper
a Brit
clips.
stick. I purchased
Just all the notes.
I purchased
one.
the guillotine to chop the note.
She didn't call it a guillotine. She said, I
No,
purchased one of
choppy
those
thing.
things on Amazon where you can chop, where you can get the paper and you can chop it. And I said to her, Emily, do you mean a guillotine?
I thought that's what you chopped off people's heads with.
Which is what you do with that, yeah.
I have not got one of them. Okay.
So tell me, how did you get all 3 of them into their beds? And
So I think it just helps that all my children just like sleep. And
oh yeah, that is helpful, isn't it?
yeah, so the one who probably more I would have tended to have with me would have been Millie, because she was my first. I didn't have anything else to like be distracting me or taking up my time. But she slept through the night from 6 weeks old. So I'm kind of like, I mean, I know that's crazy, guys. I actually appreciate that it's crazy. And then when I had Theo and he definitely didn't, I was like, oh, now I see what people were complaining about with the sleep thing. So
you had the same with Bella. You like, she just sleeps through, and I was
she
there,
just
like,
slept through. And so I reached a stage where I had like a next to me cot, because I breastfed them all. And there's no doubt when you're breastfeeding, you know, it's happened to me where I have just, you know, dropped off, and then you wake up, don't you? So I had like a next to me cot, because that actually encouraged me much more to like put them in.
There,
But I reached the stage with her that I was like, I'm waking her up when I get into bed. She's then waking me up all night because she's just making those little noises of like, and turning. And so neither of us were sleeping as well. And so it was like a kind of a really sad moment. And I did cry when I did move her into her own bedroom. And that's where she has remained. So none of my children, Raj, don't laugh at this, none of my children have ever slept in my bed.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. But it's not because I have a problem with it. It's just kind of,
look,
how it's been.
I really think it's important. I know that we're like friends and we're mums as well, but I think it's important to share those different perspectives, because I remember the first time I heard a mum, like, I think somebody else said it to me, and then you were the second mummy to say to me that like your kids slept through the night. Neither of mine slept through the night. It took years.
I think I was partly lucky, to be honest.
Lucky, but also, you know, it's nice to have that perspective, to know that can happen. But actually, then you learnt from me that didn't happen for me. And then maybe another mum-mate told you the same. So actually, it's different for everybody. And I think no 2 journeys can be compared.
And no 2 children.
No,
like I said, my son
compared,
was extremely hard work as a baby, the sleeping and everything. And he was the one that I had to make the real effort to get a routine. I did all the sleep association stuff with him, you know, where they're like, try not to rock them to sleep, try not to feed them to sleep, try not to cold. So I had to go through all of that because I literally had no sleep for months and months. I remember being so tired that I didn't drive anywhere because I was so frightened that I was going to fall asleep. And it reached the point where it wasn't safe for me to be that tired all the time.
And can we talk about the sleep deprivation? Because I've really, no, honestly, we're like 6 years now. And obviously my son now sleeps at night. He's excellent and it's great, and he actually prefers to be in his bed, doesn't want to be anywhere else.
That's what my children are like. They like it.
And I think if you do follow through with those, you know, sleep patterns and getting them into their own bed early, that's the payoff, I think, is that they actually prefer to be in their bed, they're comfortable there. But gosh, those hours of like being up in the night by yourself,
rocking,
isolated, you know, I would be losing my mind. Husband's just snoring away, the whole house is quiet. And you're like, oh my God, every single night it's merging into every single day. And if any mums are watching this, listen to this out there, and you're going through this right now, I want to say I'm 6 years in. And although I'm still up with my baby girl every so often, it passes and it will pass. And there were times that were quite dark. Like there were moments where I was like, what have I done? Like,
especially winter months. So my first 2 were winter babies. And it was very, very hard because it's dark from like 4 p.m. till
all
like 8
way.
a.m. And I remember I used to get this real feeling of like, not anxiety, but like trepidation of the night when it started getting dark. Whereas Belle was an April baby. So she, you know, it was still light until 7 at night. It just felt so much easier.
I think it's a fair point, because you go through this night by yourself and you're just like night after night after night. And you just think to yourself, is this going to end? And I remember thinking, what have I done? I love being a mum, and that's what I was saying to you earlier about it's the most challenging yet rewarding, because the feelings and emotions I feel as a mum are like so paradoxical at times. Like they're opposites, but then they're like so extreme. So you're almost like, I love my children so much it hurts, but then at the same time, like, I literally can't breathe. Like, I'm up all night. I'm like zombie in the morning. And, you know, that's the journey of early motherhood, I think. And sometimes it pops back in when they're ill and you're like, oh God, I remember those days, you know, but actually it gets better. So now I've got one that does that every so often.
And you actually miss it? This is the crazy
I don't know
thing.
about missing it, babe.
No, but okay,
Literally.
not miss it, but I'm just putting it out there. You know when they're like...
Of course you miss it. You're bloody 3 of them have slept all through the night. Yeah.
Right.
I don't talk.
My
I don't
point
claim this
is-
energy, guys. I don't claim it.
My point is, right, when you've got a newborn and it's just you and them in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and it's like no one else in the world apart
Oh,
from
that,
you two,
yeah.
even though you're like knackered, and at the time you're like, oh my God, just get to morning.
Yeah.
But now... Belle's like running around and she
Yeah, I
still
know
wants
what you
me,
mean.
but not as much.
I
And I think I
know.
remember
That-
those days
that
when you just wanted to just be on me
stuck
all the
to you.
time.
And oh,
And
God,
you
that
feel
is.
their
And the
breathing
smell,
and
the
the
smell.
smell and-
Yeah.
Oh,
That's enough of
what
that
I
now. Stop
mean.
now. Can we?
Yeah, but neither of us are having more babies.
Other no, definitely. I think you might after that conversation.
I am
Pete,
not.
are you aware of that, babe?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about things we wish someone had told us
Ooh.
about parenting and small people,
Mhm.
being a mum. So I'm going to say one
Yeah.
that I wish someone had told me that being medical and having that knowledge does not protect you from anxiety. In fact, I feel like for me anyway, it makes me slightly worse because I feel like, you know, like when you're working in hospital,
yeah.
you see
Everything.
you really only see the tip of the iceberg of like
Oh,
the
yeah.
most serious conditions. Yes,
Yeah.
you see everything in terms of like
Yeah.
breadth of things that can go wrong, but you also see the tip of the iceberg, the most serious, the ones who get really sick. You know, I've worked on intensive
Yeah.
care, I've worked in acute medicine. You're seeing unwell people. And that's always in the back of my
Yeah.
mind.
That's what you relate to.
And I think, could it be that?
Yeah.
Like really silly example. I remember in flu season, I was looking after a very, very young patient, teenage, like adult, but teen, who was on intensive care with
Yeah.
the flu, extremely sick. And I remember thinking, oh my God, flu, like, do I need to be that worried about the flu? I was probably in my mid-20s then. Something that hadn't even entered my head
Yeah.
before. And now with the flu every year, that's what comes into my mind.
First thing that- yes,
of that
you relate-
lovely person that I looked
That's
after.
the thing you relate to.
Yes. So, you know, on the other hand, you can rationalise it a bit like what we were saying with
Yeah.
meningitis. I can use that knowledge to just quieten those worries when I think to myself, there's nothing I can actually do in this situation. I just have to let it calm. And I usually ring my mum.
So you normally ring your mum. So when you were little, was your mum anxious with all her medical paediatric knowledge?
No,
Or was she quite-
absolutely not. So my dad's a surgeon, my mum's a paediatrician.
Yeah.
My mum and dad, it's like a stunning joke in the family. Literally, you had to have an arm hanging off for them to be like, concerned. I'm not kidding you. And that's what the kids say about me now.
Yeah.
Okay, they say you're really not. They don't use the word unsympathetic, but I think I've got a reputation in the household for being like, oh, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So as much as inside I worry, on the outside I'm like, oh, you'll be fine, guys.
Didn't we have that chat when we went for dinner with our husbands? And they were like, do you ever get that? They were comparing notes about how
Yeah, they
you and
both
I are
feel
like
very
really cold.
Yeah.
So like, you know, they'll say something's wrong with them. I'm like, oh, just drink a
You're
glass
all right.
of water. Classic. You'll be all right.
No, but you know what I say to them?
But that also comes from what you, sorry to butt in, what you just said about when you see the worst of it and then someone's whinging about something. It's just like, it's noise, babe. Just stop. You don't know what I've dealt with today. Okay, somebody was dying, somebody's died to you, and now you're coming to me with a rash on your nose. Like, what do you want me to say? Use a barrier cream,
Man
babe.
flu.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't.
But also I say to my kids, and I have to say, touch wood, I have been absolutely on the money every time. If I need to take them,
Yeah.
I will take them. I always say to them, guys, if I need to worry,
Yeah.
I will worry and you will know about it. And I have, there's been instances where there was one particular one where one of the kids had an injury. And the response was, it was one of my stepchildren and they were like, I got home from work and they went, Em's, you're going to tell me this is nothing and to stop making a fuss. And I looked at their finger and I went, right, let's get in the car. We're going to A&E. They were like,
What? Yeah.
I said, you looks to me like you fractured it. It was a typical ball to the end of the finger injury. So they had an avulsion fracture.
It's
and
like
I was
when they
right. It was a
know.
fracture. And then they were like, oh my God, you were right.
Yeah.
I said, I told you.
It's like you'll keep plodding along, be like, it's fine. Then the minute you say, okay, that's not fine. I called an ambulance once because my husband was looking not right. And I was like, right. And he looked at me like even more worried.
Then he would have been
you are calling an
terrified.
ambulance. Am I dying? Like
death
what?
door.
I was like, it's okay. Just your pupil doesn't look quite right to me. He's like, what? What? It was like all panic,
panic
you know.
more.
But we know when to call the ambulance. You're all in safe hands, guys.
So touch wood. I'm touching some wood right here. My instinct's been right. I've never missed anything serious, and I have taken them when they needed to be taken.
You're a class act, Emily. Right, things that
There's
I
always
wish
time for it to
someone
go
had
wrong.
things that I wish someone had told me. You can do everything right, and your child will still have a meltdown. We've all been there, guys. Like we just know the meltdown's coming, or you're trying to curb the meltdown. I remember my son, he must have been 2 years old, lay down flat in the Waitrose aisle. She wouldn't get up.
And it had to be Waitrose, didn't it?
I was like, babe, it's just no. And he's like, everyone's,
posh
the
supermarket.
Waitrose customers are all giving me the look. There she is, that
Control your child.
that mum, she's got no control whatsoever, a spoilt child. And genuinely, can I just put it out there? Like, honestly, sometimes it's nothing to do with your parenting. It's actually just a developmental thing. They are just doing what they need to do.
Their authority
It's
there.
part of their development, and they're going to have a meltdown, and you can do everything you want. It's still going to happen. So you know what? Just take the trolley and just carry on. No, don't do that. Don't
But
leave
what
them there.
can you do? You have to
I had to
just
drag
carry
him
on.
out.
You
I
have
had
to,
to
you have
pick
to
him
obviously
up.
take them with you.
I had to stop shopping because he wouldn't get out the aisle. I was like, oh my God, grab him. And sweating I was like a pig to get him out there. Get him out, put him in the car, left him with my husband, then went back into Waitrose to my shop.
Oh, you literally abandoned ship. You just took him out.
I mean, it was a full on, I'm not moving from this spot. And I just couldn't, and everyone was looking at me.
Did you have him like under one arm to carry him
Yeah, I had
out?
to like carry him out like this, like a ladder. While he screamed and shouted, and everyone looked at me like, what are you doing in Waitrose? Get in Tesco, will ya? Get in Tesco. Yeah.
Did you go back to that Waitrose again?
I went right back in again.
Did you?
I went like this.
Proud.
Dusted off and I went.
Yeah.
And I went straight for the caviar. No, I'm joking. No, I didn't. I went and bought some baked beans. Right. Anyway. Just get as big
Do you know
as
what? Like, I just don't take my kids to the supermarket. I think I'm frightened of that ever happening. And like, what the hell do I do?
It's a real fear, you know.
No, I just don't do it.
I don't know
Online
why
shopping.
we think it's a good idea. Why do we think taking?
No,
to the
you
supermarket-
do. I don't
know.
take
I don't know
them.
why I think it's good.
I do not take the supermarket, which is probably the wrong thing to do. I am an online food shopping gal twice a week.
I'm an online food shopping galley, but I also do like a bit of Tesco because they've got a toy section.
You just like the F&F.
I love a bit of F&F, babes, but also, yeah, Tesco because you can take them in and you can buy some, I don't know, kinetic sand or something that will shut them up for a bit. Won't it? Okay, so make a big mess, but it'll shut
Do you
them
ever
up.
do the thing where you open the food when you're going around just to
Yeah,
feed
and
them
then pay
something
them?
and then
Oh,
you pay
yes.
with the empty packet?
And I thought that I was so awful doing that, but
No.
apparently most mums do it.
On a
so
rare
it's okay.
occasion, I have taken them to the supermarket. That is what
I
do.
actually learned that from my husband, who's
Yeah, I
a
know.
full-grown adult, by the way.
No, Pete does it.
And
He
I was,
will
like,
eat a whole
cringing.
lunch.
Yeah, I'm like cringing. Like, what are you doing? Can't eat that. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
you can.
fine.
And
Just
then
open it now. Just open it now.
He will,
And I feel
Pete
like-
will eat everything and then just scan the
But
packet.
do you ever feel like the police or the security guard's going to come
Yeah.
to you like, did you eat that?
I've sort of
And
seen
I've
you.
Seen you. Or the pick and mix, like take a...
And then you
Oh,
go,
God.
I'm going to pay for it.
Please don't come for us.
If you're not
Okay.
in Waitrose, you do not want to get like arrested and marched out of Waitrose
you
for eating a
imagine?
pork pie.
Don't even know if Waitrose sell pork pies. Okay, so...
Caviar. For eating your caviar in Waitrose. That's about 75 quid.
What do we
They probably
like?
would arrest you.
Listener questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, where
Got
is
some
that?
good ones. We've covered some of them. I thought one that was really good today is the one that says, does mum guilt actually ever go away? Or is it now a forever thing, Emily?
I think this is a bit pessimistic, but I feel like it might be a forever thing.
Do you think so?
I don't know. I had it last week actually when we were doing the podcast because I missed parents' evening.
Oh, God, I shouldn't laugh at that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, Theo.
The guilt is
I'm sorry.
still real.
No, the reason I'm laughing is because you messaged me when you got late for the train and said, when are you getting to London Bridge? And I was like, babe, I'm on the train home already.
Oh, I was
How did you
fuming.
get that late? Oh, God. But
Do you know, there was two silver linings actually. One was that I got to sit on the bench in London Bridge and eat a Marks and Spencer sandwich because I was
wow.
starving. So that was one good thing. And second of all, the teachers are very nice and they're going to let me have an even longer parents' evening this week.
Really nice.
But I felt so bad about it.
Yeah.
Awful.
I felt guilt for you that day.
When
I felt like
it's
I
just-
felt the mum guilt. I was like, shit.
I couldn't help it
I was like, we fucked up.
It was me.
Theo.
because I got a taxi.
And we got too far. We got carried away on this podcast.
Should have
didn't
got the
we?
tube.
Talking all sorts of.
Guess what I did today? Got the tube.
Well done. That's always the answer.
Learning from the
I-
mistakes.
I feel like with mum guilt, it's a tricky one because I feel like you're right. You can never really get rid of it, but it's like it's like your friend. You've got to learn to live with it and like manage the friend best you can. That's how I see it. Because I feel like I have mum guilt from the minute I wake up. Even when they've gone to sleep, I'm mum guilting about something. You know, I'm like, oh, did I do this today? I forgot to do that today. I haven't done this yet. Or, you know, should I go to that time? Like I had a breakfast meeting this morning. Oh God, I've got to leave at this time in the morning. Is she going to want me? Is she going to, you know, she does nursery 3 days a week. So the 2 that she's not at nursery, I like to go in slightly later so I can have a bit of a morning with her. And if I'm not doing that, that's a mum guilt. You know, if you've got to go out in the evening, if you're doing like couples time, that's a mum guilt. Everything's a freaking mum guilt.
Work in general is a mum guilt.
Work is
so
a mum's
I'm really
guilt.
torn on this one because it's like, I want to go to work because a bit like we were talking about earlier, I want to like model to them that, you know, it's a good thing to have a good work ethic and to go out and try your best and make something of yourself in the world. Equally, every time I go, I spend the whole time feeling guilty. Like I should be there and be with them and pick them up and not miss parents' evening.
But it's a bit of both. Because if you're with them, you're like mum guilting and thinking, should I be better role model? Should I be doing more things to show them that you should be a go-getter? And then if you're being a go-getter, you're like, oh my God, I'm just such an awful mum. What am I doing? You know, so it's just, I've learned that you can't win with mum guilt. So rather than sitting there for hours, and you will as a mum, especially in the early years, I feel like you spend a lot of time going through the mum guilt, feeling awful. But I think that in the end, you learn that mum guilt's there and you've got to quieten that voice sometimes. Sometimes it's loud. It's in my shop.
Sometimes it's helpful because it makes you think about things in a different perspective. But it's not always helpful.
Do you know what it's helped me with? Learning to say no to things.
Yeah.
So I use the mum guilt as a bit of a power tool. So sometimes if I feel like I'm really becoming businessy about it, what is worth my time? Because I'm not going to give up any time where I could be with my children and I don't have to be somewhere else because I love them and I want that time with them. So now I'm not saying yes to everything. Like I will say no, quite easy no, because it's a no-brainer for me. And mum guilt helps with that. So I think using it as a tool that becomes a bit of a help rather than a hindrance is definitely the thing.
Don't forget, they're not going to be like, well, not saying not around. They're not going to be living there and wanting cuddles and all the time. So I agree with you. And actually accepting as well that I've really accepted now that I can never quite do my work exactly as well as I would want to. And I can never quite be a mum exactly as well as I'd want to. Because as long as you're trying to do more than one thing, something always gives slightly. So, and that's okay. You can't do it perfectly.
And also the final point of the fact that I find that I'm a better mum when my cup's full and I know what fills my cup. And for some people that's, you know, going shopping. For some people it's, I don't know, cooking. For some people it's whatever it might be, drawing. For me it's working and doing the things that make really...
I wish work filled my cup.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Em, it's because that work I've created...
Work does not fill my cup.
But I've made my work life a way that it's passion for me. It's like my work is my passion. I love it. I love going to work. So I think... if that's what fills my cup, then I have to almost understand that it makes me a much better mum to do things that I enjoy and love. Like, we get to call this work. I love that.
So lucky for you. I love that. I do love work, don't get me wrong, but I'm always tireder on a work day than a mum day.
Are you?
I feel very...
I'm tired all the time, babe, so I can't work out.
No, I am too, and I shouldn't be, clearly, with my children that sleep through the night.
Yeah, what are you doing, babe?
Now. What am I doing? No, a day being a mum, I get to the end of the day and I feel like I've achieved something. Isn't that weird?
That's so lovely.
Whereas I do feel like that at work, but not like quite as much.
I think I feel when I've got through a day with the kids, I'm like on a high. I'm incredible. Look at me. Like going to Peppa Pig World and everything else with it and not screaming my head off.
So going to Peppa Pig World.
Do you know, that's what I feel. But then I think with work, it's a different kind of fulfillment. And I think bringing those two together allows me to be a better mum. So when the mum guilt gets loud, I just remind myself of those things and try and quieten that voice down.
Correct.
Go away, mum guilt.
And also, you've got to keep the work thing going. I feel for me anyway. You've got to keep it going because, like I said, one day they won't need you quite as much. And then you have to have something left that is for you.
Yeah, who are you?
So that's my motivation.
Who are you, Emily?
I don't know. I'm
lost.
Note,
thank you for watching, guys.
Excuse me while I just go find myself.